Hello and welcome to the First Pick right here on HCTV. I'm Ben Simpson, alongside me, Mike Cerrone, episode number 5. And Mike, again, it's been a good run. We're starting to hit that good part of the summer where we're going to be heading back into football season pretty soon. Baseball season's kind of dragging a little bit, but we got plenty to talk about. But Mike, again, good to be here for episode number 5. We've made it through 4 so far. We had the big Chuck E. Cheese First Pick Olympics, which if you checked out last week, I hope you enjoyed as well. Check it out on our YouTube. We'll give out that later so you can check that out. But Mike, glad to have you on the show again, another week.
It is another week. I'm happy HCTV staff, all the roses here, everyone let us in the building once again. I mean, I walked in and I said, you know, I wish I had a bigger chair or a nicer chair. And Nancy Rose was like, you know, we only have a budget of $100, so you got to pick something better. And I was hoping for a lazy boy, but you know, I'm just, you know, prima donna. And
just give us bean bags. We just need a couple bean bags.
That would be nice.
That would be great. Or a couple body pillows. We'll just hug them the whole show, something like that. But
okay,
we'll get comfy. We'll get comfy in here, Mike.
Body pillows.
All right. Well, we got a lot to talk about today here on the show. As we always do every single week, we go through our headlines. We got a little game, fill in the blank later, as well as our picks of the week. And you'll be surprised to know where the standings are with that. So look forward to that later on. A little tease there, Mike. Well,
foreshadowing at its best.
We did mention training camp is here. It's here. Football season is on its way. So especially fans in this area are real excited about that, Mike, with the Redskins. Fans up in Baltimore, they're getting ready to start their preseason over there in Owings Mill for their training camp. But Mike, Redskins over down there in Richmond. And Redskins fans, as far as the attitude going into the season, Mike, with you being a Redskins fan, kind of what is your feeling and kind of can you gauge a little bit the way the fans are feeling going into this season?
Well, I think a lot of fans are actually right now overrating our team. They think that because we got DeSean Jackson and a few other guys in free agency, that we're going to be a Super Bowl contender right off the bat. That's not going to happen. We got to be realistic here. Okay, we went from 3-13 to what? What now? That's what we got to really look at is what they're going to do coming off a terrible season as a 3-13. RG3 coming off the injury of the ACL and LCL. I have had a similar injury before with an ACL and an MCL and meniscus tear back in my knee back in high school. I don't know how long ago that was, but when I can't do the math right now. But when you're looking at it, you just got to see how RG3 responds, how the chemistry between DeSean Jackson and RG3 progresses, and you also got to look at the leadership, possibly maybe with Ryan Clark coming back to the Redskins from the Steelers, trying to take over that London Fletcher position. Because when you're looking at it, you got to definitely factor in the sole fact that they lost London Fletcher. They did lose some other key pieces to, whatever pup list, whatever it may be. But you got to think, what's going to be, the key factor here? I think when you're looking at it, Alfred Morris is still the key factor. He's so quiet, no one knows if he's still there. No one knows if he's still on the team half the time. But when you're looking at it, I think the key factor is Alfred Morris. If you keep getting that run game going, it's going to open up things over the top to DeSean Jackson finally when they start getting their chemistry back. Pierre Garçon going over the middle, Andre Roberts with his speed as well. So we're just going to have to see. Hopefully this whole entire training camp when the new coach, John Gruden, or Jay Gruden, I should say, we get that right.
I want to get that one messed up.
Jay Gruden, the whole entire thing with Jay Gruden is looking positive right now, so hopefully he turns everything around in Washington.
For me, Mike, it's some of the names you mentioned there. I'm interested in seeing how DeSean and Rob, I call him Robert Griffin III.
First name
I did get to see him a couple weeks ago, Mike, and at the Redskins training camp, and
did you get a conversation with him?
Did not get a conversation with him. He came in wearing his shades. He had the hood up, so I felt like he didn't really want to talk to me. I didn't think my face was the first thing he wanted to see when he walked in the facility. Rob, I call him Rob. But
Bobby.
Again, he looks healthy, Mike. I got a good look at him. He was running some sprints and stuff, so I see that knee is working out. So RG knee is doing all right. But Mike, I'm looking for him and DeSean Jackson this year because DeSean Jackson was a guy that no one really wanted to touch. When he left the Eagles, not a lot of people were interested in DeSean Jackson, so that was a sneaky good pickup for the Redskins. So we'll see what goes on there. As far as the Ravens go, we want to touch on that. Ray Rice, he's suspended for 2 games, Mike, and that's not only a big name in fantasy football because that's a guy that goes real high in those drafts, but big name in football and is a running back for Baltimore, a team who's trying to contend.
As we're going to get into a fantasy football ordeal here and debate in the next couple episodes that we have here on HCTV. But when you're looking at Ray Rice, this whole entire debacle, mainly it's been blowing up all of sports radio. Definitely, 106.7 nowadays, which is usually Redskin heavy, is now becoming, a Raven Central because of the sentence of 2 games that Ray Rice was given by Roger Goodell. They're thinking that, the NFL is losing their appeal. They're not helping their players. So just everything that's going on right now is not going, the NFL's way because they're sending out these sentences, but it's not working out for them. So, I mean, we're just going to see what goes on and how this whole entire Ray Rice thing unfolds.
And look forward on Sunday. Mike and I will kind of be getting more into the Ray Rice as well as the suspensions in the NFL. Sundays 5 to 7, WGMUradio.com. So we'll save that for that. But, Mike, let's move on. The Chicago Bulls have joined Cleveland in possibly going after Kevin Love. And I know your thoughts. You think Chicago might have a good shot at this thing. Obviously, for Cleveland, deciding to finally sign Andrew Wiggins, so they solidify that. So that kind of means they won't really be involving him in the trade per se. But this could be interesting. Again, Kevin Love is just one of those guys who's been grinding it out in Minnesota year after year. Not a whole lot of love, quote unquote. Bad pun. There for Kevin Love there in Minnesota. Yeah, I didn't even think. Just because Minnesota never really acted like they even really wanted to keep the guy. They never gave him that full max deal, and he's one of the best rebounders as well as a 3-point threat for a big guy in the league. So, Mike, where are you thinking this?
When I'm looking at this whole entire situation, Ben, I think that Kevin Love, him and Andrew Wiggins, this whole entire ordeal, are they going to trade Wiggins? What's going to go on? We expected them to sign Andrew Wiggins, and then maybe the Love deal might happen. Obviously, as Ben said, they have to wait 30 days before they can trade him. But, I mean, that's the wrong move. The wrong move to do. In my opinion, that's the wrong move. Kevin Love, yes, he is a great shooter and he's a great rebounder. I believe he averages 20 and 12 a game or something like that. The most underrated guy, in the whole entire NBA is in the running for it. But you're looking at it and thinking, is this a great move for the whole entire Cavs organization? I don't think so. I think they got a young core. I think Andrew Wiggins is a future for that franchise. And Dan Gilbert should not be making this move. I mean, Andrew Wiggins is 19 years old, going in there, and basically you look at him and say, can he be the next LeBron? He can if LeBron mentors him, and LeBron wants to mentor all the young guys. So when you're looking at it, I don't think, trying to play for now is the key thing, because LeBron's coming up on the last 2-3 years of his prime, and you're going to see if he can actually mentor Kyrie Irving and so on and so forth to see if the Cavs can be a contender for the next decade.
For me, I'm on the other side of that thought, Mike. I think I see your point. I see if it's a young guy like Wiggins, we don't know how he's going to be doing the NBA. So I'm with you in that respect where it's like, I don't like getting rid of talent before you even see what they can do. But for Cleveland, in my eyes, are win now. They need to be win now because you just made this giant move to get LeBron, a giant celebration for him coming back to Ohio, and most likely bringing a title back to Cleveland. So for me, I'm thinking you got to get a guy like Kevin Love, who's an established power forward, who's going to be able to get the job done. And you're trying to win now. I mean, you're putting all your eggs in that basket. That's why you got LeBron James, is to win a title. You're not thinking about the future. But like I said, I could see your thoughts on that too, being that I just don't like giving away talent before you see what they got. I mean, that's the whole thing with Wizards and Otto Porter. We don't really know what we have in Otto Porter until he gets more playing time, until he plays more. But we'll see. Last thing, Mike. James, I got that right. James Rodriguez, not James, James, signs with Real Madrid, not Real Madrid. So, Mike, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing here. 6-year deal there, Mike. So some soccer news there. I'll let you take the soccer stuff, man. That's
James Rodriguez is the new superstar for Colombia. If you guys saw in the World Cup, Colombia had a great World Cup. James Rodriguez had, I think, the best goal voted by all the FIFA World Cup viewers. It was that crazy goal against Uruguay, which also brings in Luis Suarez being signed by Barcelona. So this pretty much solidifies the whole entire ordeal of who is the best 2 clubs in the world. You had Bayern Munich there. You had BVB. Borussia Dortmund, aka BVB.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, Ben knows.
Yeah.
And
BVB.
Yeah, just looking at it, you got to think of Real Madrid and Barcelona being the 2 frontrunners now, up there with Bayern Munich as the top 3 clubs in the world. Because overall, when it comes down to Champions League, you're going to see all these different stars. I mean, the front line for Barcelona right now, the top 3 guys in the front is Lionel Messi. You got Neymar. And now you got Luis Suarez. And then you also got, I'll mention the midfield, Xavi and Iniesta. But then you're also looking at Real Madrid. They're thinking of, I got information from a friend of mine that said that they might be looking to trade or get rid of Di Maria and Benzema and Khedira as well. But we don't really know that whole entire things going on right now. But you're also looking at Falcao, another Colombian that didn't play in the World Cup because he was hurt. That's another superstar for the Colombian nation. They both play for Monaco, James Rodriguez and Falcao. They both play for Monaco. They might come over to Real Madrid. That would just make Real Madrid a powerhouse. I don't think they should get rid of Di Maria, but we'll have to see when everything unfolds.
You said Captain Falcon, right? That's what you said? Or is it Falcao? Okay.
Falcao.
Falcao.
F-A-L-C-A-O.
All right, I got it. I thought you said Falco, never mind. All right, we'll move on. Fill in the
Shane
blank.
Falco?
Yeah. Fill in the blank. We're going to move on. We got a game to play, Mike. We got fill in the blank here where we have some different statements and some sports things, and Mike and I are going to do our best to fill in with the word that we feel is most appropriate for that sentence. So, Mike, we'll start off. The Oakland Raiders will be in blank within the next 5 years.
Well, I'm going to go with the sports reason here and say that the Raiders will be in L.A. and then within the next 5 years. They have to go back to L.A. I mean, the last time they were in L.A. was with Bo Jackson, the crazy stuff he was doing, and so on and so forth. Right now they're trying to, they're getting out of the Oakland Stadium because the Oakland A's are making a new stadium and they want to demolish that whole entire thing.
Luckily, yes, because that's a terrible stadium.
That stadium is awful. But then, as you saw with the Redskins playing the Raiders, and you have to play on the dirt and all
Yeah,
it's
it's
weird.
just terrible.
Anyway, so it's beyond that.
Professional sports, and they're playing on infield dirt in the NFL.
Yeah.
Billion-dollar industry.
But
Playing in the backyard.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
backyard football. Here we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Pablo Sanchez
Yeah,
got
there you go.
drafted.
That's a good
Anyways, Pete Wheeler. Okay, so you also see the Levi Stadium, the new stadium for the San Francisco 49ers. They're trying to get the Oakland Raiders to share the stadium, but what's the point of that? There's no point of having the Raiders there because the Niners own the stadium, and the Niners are going to have all their merchandise, all their stuff out there. So what the Raiders are going to come in there and say, hey, yeah, we got this little vendor over here with our stuff. That's just stupid. So they have to be going to L.A. They're making millions of dollars. Well, not with ticket sales because there's no fans there. It's awful. Sorry, any Oakland fans out there. But looking at it, they just have to go to L.A. That's the key to it. To get new fans, to make a new place. Just everything. They have to go to L.A.
For me, the Raiders will be in I don't care land in the next 5 years. I don't care where Oakland goes. They can stay in Oakland. They can go to L.A. They can go up to Alaska. I wouldn't mind that. They can go down wherever they want.
Wouldn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't affect my life. It doesn't affect my teams, Mike, because I'm a Detroit Lions fan, so that's not anything in the NFC North. And then here with Washington, not a big thing. But again, I understand Oakland Raiders fans want. That's a good fan base. You got to at times when the Oakland Raiders were at their peak. Mike, that was a very good franchise. They were known as the bad boys in the NFL, and I have a special tie into that because that's when the Detroit Pistons took the moniker bad boys from the Oakland Raiders. Okay. Because what they were doing in the NFL, Pistons brought that to the NBA. So for me, but again, I said I don't care land. So Oakland could go.
I try to go more serious, but
yeah.
Ben's feeling all joker.
Yeah, there we go. Blank is the favorite to win the Super Bowl right now.
I'm going with the Broncos. I'm not going to finish the whole entire sentence because there's no point. The Broncos have to be the favorite. Just overall, when you're looking at Peyton Manning and how he had a record-breaking season, pretty much all the records in the record book this past season. I can't go against Peyton Manning. I bet $5 on the Super Bowl, and you have to be legal age to bet. Everybody, just FYI. Basically, I bet $5 on the Super Bowl, and I said I'm going with Peyton Manning or bust. If he loses, I don't care because I went down in flames with him. But overall, that's what I'm saying. And they did lose, so I was a little upset with the $5 that I lost. I could have bought a nice 2 or 3 Gatorades at 7-Eleven.
2 or 3 Gatorades. Blue though, only blue.
Yeah, cool blue.
Blue flavor.
Cool blue. I had one of those last night.
Never purple, never orange.
No,
Tell that to the kids.
Gatorade.
All right, keep going.
Where was I? The Broncos. You got to go with the Broncos. Peyton Manning.
All right, I'm going with Seattle. And this pains me because again, I'm so against the Seahawk bandwagon hype that this team has gotten over the last 3 seasons, but it's starting to not be hype anymore because they're winning.
I disagree.
They're able to do it. So, Mike, again, Seattle, they didn't really lose a whole lot. Yeah, there's no more Golden Tate, but you look at most of this roster, and it's a lot of the same guys on the squad. Again, but this is Seattle. This is relatively the same team, and they have a lot of the same offensive weapons. So again, I'm going with the Seahawks.
They lost Thurman and Browner. Two
Seahawks.
Key DBs.
Seattle. Just look out. Next, Johnny Manziel.
I'm looking out.
Johnny Manziel will be blank week 1. Do you want me to take this first?
Yes, I will.
I will say Johnny Manziel will be hopefully no longer a Belieber. He was a Justin Bieber fan. We talked about this on the show, wearing the leather pants, leather shorts, whatever he wears. Johnny Manziel.
Leather pants.
Johnny Manziel is obviously going to be the guy in the NFL who everyone's going to be keeping track of what he's doing week to week, because that's just what he has built up for himself. He's hanging out with guys like the Biebs.
The Biebs.
So hopefully, by the time football season starts, no more Biebs. No longer a believer, Mike. Go ahead.
I went with the same route as Ben did. I went Johnny Manziel will be in a Bieber music video by week 1. I think you know that he's gonna be in one of these, these weird videos that he's like, just trying to woo a 17-year-old girl or something. Because how old is he now? Like 16?
I don't know.
Anyways, he's wearing those.
I miss the old Bieber.
He's wearing those leather pants.
The long hair, Bieber. The long hair that he just switched over to the side. I miss that young guy.
That young guy. Okay.
We got to pull it together here.
Move on here.
All right. Blank.
Nothing else to say.
Back to a normal question. Blank will be the rookie of the year in the NFL this season. I'll take this one first, too. I'm going to go with Eric Ebron for the Detroit Lions. No, because you look logistically at the Lions for this season, and you look at the way this team has operated the past couple years, Mike, and they did lose a couple weapons there. And again, Ebron's supposed to be a guy who can come in and be an option for Matthew Stafford. And for this team, for the Lions team, for years, it's just been Calvin Johnson. That's the only guy they got. That's the only guy they can throw to. And then it's everybody else on 3rd down or 4th down that they throw to. Ebron will be a weapon. And again, I'm not alone in this thought. This is not me pulling this out of nowhere, Mike. I mean, Ebron's supposed to be a top 5 impact rookie here in the season. What do you got?
I didn't make that whatever noise I made because you.
Oh, don't tell me you picked the same guy.
I picked Eric Ebron.
This is why we got to talk. We got to have some communication.
We got to talk.
Eric Ebron.
I was going to pick Sammy Watkins, but I thought Ben would
Okay.
go with the obvious pick with Sammy Watkins. By the way, if you guys want to go on YouTube and search Sammy Watkins' catch this past couple days, wow. The guy fell down, got back up, and caught it with one hand, barely even looking at the football. I don't even know how he caught it. Of course, my Facebook's blowing up from it because it wasn't that amazing. It wasn't even a game. But anyways, it's a good one. Go YouTube it. But anyways, I went with Eric Ebron because of the sole fact that I'm a Tech fan. I'm a huge Tech fan. All right, Virginia Tech, that is. Not Georgia Tech, none of those other Tech schools. Virginia Tech, okay?
ITT Tech.
Yes, Technical Institute. You keep getting me off my game right now. Virginia Tech, VT. I'm a big VT fan. VT fan. See, you got me all screwed up now.
It's all right. Keep going.
VT fan, okay? And Eric Ebron, I've seen him a couple times, here and there, in person, on TV, his highlight reels, his combine, everything. This guy knows how to catch the football. A tight end, he's going to help out the Lions because he's a sure-handed guy. He's a sure-handed guy. That's it. Plain and simple. You're going to see Matthew Stafford looking to him at least like 3 or 4 times a game at least in the red zone. Not even the whole entire game. Not even the whole entire game. The whole entire game, he might have 8 or 9 targets throughout the whole entire game. Average 5 catches, 50 yards throughout the whole entire season. I think he's going to get around 5 to 10 touchdowns in this whole entire season.
I'm glad we agree. Eric Ebron, yeah. Watch out for him because, again, Matthew Stafford, he needs some help. He needs some weapons. You can't just throw to Calvin Johnson every single play because they're going to be double team, triple team.
They might have Ebron line up like a Jimmy Graham, too, on the outside.
Should be good. We'll see. Last one we have here for fill in the blank. Blank had the best acting job in a sports movie ever. Mike? Do you want to go take this first?
No, I want to pass it to you because I want to hear what
I'm going to go with Emilio Estevez as Gordon Bombay in the Mighty Ducks.
That was great.
Mighty Ducks, fantastic movie, Mike. Again, all of them. We're in agreement in that too, right? It's not just the first Mighty Ducks. They're all very good.
Yeah, like what they have, like what was it, like D16? Was that?
Yeah, they had a lot of Mighty Ducks movies,
like
but I'll tell you,
movies?
Emilio Estevez, Coach Bombay.
Yeah, Coach Bombay. That's a great one. Now he pulled that one out of the hat. I'm going to go with Tom Hanks in League of Their Own. I really love that movie. That movie is awesome. My
ain't no crying in baseball. That's my Tom Hanks impression.
Are you crying? Are you crying? That was great. Oh, I love Tom Hanks. I think Tom Hanks, even like Castaway, people didn't like that, but some people did. That was probably one of the worst rated movies that he's had, and that wasn't even that bad of a movie. And I just think Tom Hanks is, he's the Lord and Savior of acting.
So he was great in League of Their Own. There's a couple other
candidates. You haven't seen it.
Oh, of course I've seen it.
Okay,
I just quoted Tom Hanks right here.
That is true.
You might have been confused. Might have thought he was here, not me. But when you heard that.
Definitely.
But again, possible candidates. I had Adam Sandler possibly in A Longest Yard.
He wasn't bad in that.
He was a pretty good movie there. And then you
Hey.
could go through so many sports movies.
By the way, I went on and I
something from
I
Sandlot,
Googled. I Googled this, and of course, nothing for the best actors came up. The worst actors came up. They had Keanu Reeves on there, Madonna from A League of Their Own. It's like, all right, let's be honest. I think Madonna was better than Rosie O'Donnell, in A League of Their Own. Let's be honest here.
Well,
anyways, but
that's for a whole nother show. We'll have a whole argument about that.
Okay.
A League of Their Own themed episode.
Keanu Reeves wasn't that bad though. I liked him in that movie.
All right, that was fill in the blank. Again, football season's on its way, so we're going to definitely be tailoring the show towards the football fans as we get closer and closer to that. Obviously, baseball postseason's coming up too. Can't forget that, as well as a little summer league action and then the NBA. So we'll keep you updated on all that stuff. All right, our last segment here today, Mike, our picks of the week. Again, for those who are new to the show, Mike and I have 5 different games that we're going to pick. We do that every week. We keep track of our picks. And right now, Mike, the standings.
All right, yeah, just ship it to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, when you come down to these standings, on our radio show on WGMUradio.com, basically, I usually am the winner. But Ben's been. I mean, HCTV. Something has to be going on. There's a curse in here for me because Ben has been leading. Not the whole entire time, but most of our shows, Ben's in the lead. I came back last week, and then he was on a hot streak this past week. I think he won all 4 of the picks. We only had 4 because we had a bonus pick for the Home Run Derby, which he picked Yoenis Cespedes, right?
Yoenis Cespedes. Yes.
He picked him for the Home Run Derby, which he got right. And then for the Open Championship last week, he picked Rory McIlroy. I wasn't really happy with that because Tiger didn't do so well. But at the same time, Ben's been on fire, so I got to come up with some wins here. I mean, I'm only down by 1. I'm 13-7. And Ben's 14-6. So overall, we're doing pretty good
It's close,
with these records.
I'll say, if people were following our picks and going with them and stuff, they'd be doing pretty well.
Yeah. So I mean,
we know what we're doing up here. That's why we're on TV.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they just let us in for I don't know. They saw us on the street and they were like, these guys might know something. But looking at it, I think that these picks are going to be different because we have a couple Major League Baseball picks because, of course, that's like the only thing going on. Yeah. But then we got a NASCAR pick, which we'd like to throw in some of that. Of course, everyone at home, if you watch us all the time, Ben's going to pick.
I'm picking.
Which is actually going to be a pretty good pick this week. I'll explain why later.
Well,
but overall, when you're looking at it, we also have some type of football that's going on in the world today. And we got the CFL, the Canadian Football League, on the picks of the week this week.
Yeah, that should be interesting. We'll get to that pick. That will be our last pick. But first off, we're sticking with baseball. We've got a couple baseball series to pick. First thing, Detroit at L.A., the Angels, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, I believe they go by now.
It's a long name.
Very long name. Big T-shirts. Detroit at L.A. Mike, you know what are my picks on this? I always go against my Tigers. It worked out for me in that Cleveland series because the Tigers stunk it up. We're going to go with Tigers on the road here against L.A. I got to go with the Angels.
Ben picked his picks before I did, and I didn't look at his picks while I was picking mine. That's a lot of picks in that sentence. Yeah. But, you're looking at it, we have only 2 differences this week, people, which kind of sucks, but, you got to deal with what you got to deal with. So I'm going with the Angels as well. This is one of our same ones because I just think that Mike Trout and the whole entire Angels community is just on fire right now, and you got to go with the Angels in this one. I want to pick Detroit, but at the same time, they're playing the Angels, so it's going to be a tough cookie to crumble.
Next series here, Baltimore at Seattle. The O's taking on Seattle there in Seattle. So I'm going to go with Baltimore on this one. Though I wouldn't be surprised if you went the other way with Seattle. That's not a bad pick with the way the Mariners have been playing. But I'm definitely going with Baltimore. By the way, did you see the video of the how Fernando Rodney for Seattle, formerly Tampa Bay Ray, he does the little arrow. He goes like this after he gets a nice save. He pretends to pull an arrow out his back, a little Hunger Games action there, and he throws it. Wow. Well, against the Angels, he did that in the 8th inning, and then the Angels got a couple hits, stuff like that. Pujols and Mike Trout both did the arrow thing.
Wow.
I'm just saying, pretty good. It's a good move though, the arrow. I like it.
I haven't seen it before.
I'm gonna go with Baltimore. Baltimore here in this series.
I'm going with Baltimore as well.
There you go. All right. I do that to you all the time. All right. Next series, Dodgers at San Fran. So battle there for California. I'm going to go with the Dodgers here. I like picking the Dodgers. When it comes to these series, I just like the weapons that they have. There's so much speed on this team. There's so much good pitching with Kershaw leading the pack there. So I got to go with the Dodgers.
Fans at home, this is our one difference so far that we've had on the picks of the week. We're going to have another difference the next pick we have, but I'm going with the San Francisco Giants. I mean, right now, the San Francisco Giants are just battling. I just think they're a team of destiny right now because, I mean, their team, their pitching's been okay here and there, but you're looking at it, Hunter Pence had a good hit the other day, and you're looking at it and thinking, are they going to be the Cinderella story when the Dodgers were projected to possibly win the World Series? Who knows? I'm going with the Giants on this one.
Next is NASCAR, and again, as you said, Mike, people that watch our show or listen to our radio show, they know that I just have one name that's always in my mind when it comes to NASCAR, probably because it's the only name I know in NASCAR, and that's Casey Kane. He is my pick, and it's worked out for me, though. It has. It has not been as bad. There was the one race where he was second to last. You made a little fun of me for that, but then there was a race that I actually had the higher pick. I don't remember what race that was. I just know they're all the same. They just go around the circle.
That was Daytona.
There you go. That's an important one. So I'm going to go with Casey Kane here.
I'm trying to go with the knowledge base. Ben's just trying to go because he likes the name. But I'll watch some NASCAR here and there, whenever I have time on a Sunday. But right here, it's the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis. Ben, here's a little tidbit for you. It's a good pick to pick Casey Kane this week because when you're looking at it, he finished third last year.
That was what
third.
That's what I was
third
thinking.
last year.
Yeah.
Jimmy Johnson was second. Ryan Newman was first. Ryan Newman started on the pole last year, and he started on the and he won last year as well. Richard Childress Racing, Ryan Newman. That's my pick.
All right. And our last pick, we're digging deep into the well here for this one. We're going with the CFL, the Canadian Football League. And yes, they do have football in Canada.
And it's going on right now.
Well, get a look at these names. We got the Ottawa Red Blacks against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. So that's a fierce battle there.
That's a t-shirt too.
So again, you have the Red
Fierce
Blacks, the Ottawa Red Blacks, who are 1-3 on the year, and you got the Tiger Cats, who are shockingly 0-4 this season. I really thought they were going to turn it around. We're going to have to make our not a great start to the year for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. So we're going to pick this game, and Mike, I'm going to go with the Tiger Cats because again, it's been a slow start to the year, 0-4. But I'll tell you, this team's got a lot of heart. They got a lot of talent. And again, you don't bet against Hamilton. That's what they always say. You don't bet against a Tiger Cat.
Yeah, the Tiger Cats, man, they're one fierce animal. I mean, right now they're 0-4. They've been sleeping, but they're coming out of the cave and they're trying to win this against the Red Blacks, whatever mascot that is. I have no idea. And I just think that Hamilton is that Hamilton, Canada, I guess is.
You're asking the wrong guy.
I'm going to go with Hamilton as well because to be honest with you, Ottawa's in first place in their division at 1-3, which I have no idea how that's possible. And Hamilton, of course, is I guess tied for second with 0-4, which I have no idea. But
you mean you didn't do any research for this game?
I did some research.
You didn't watch any CFL this year?
Some key players for Hamilton are Brandon Banks, who's a former Redskin. He didn't want to get picked up by anybody else because he's just
good punt returner, but good kick returner. This guy, he was a good player.
Yeah, I guess so. Dan Lefevre.
That's why he's in the CFL, Mike.
Yeah. Dan Lefevre. He played for Central Michigan. He was an okay quarterback, and I guess he's in the Canadian Football League, so you go down to the minor leagues.
And then Jeremiah Mazzoli.
Jeremiah Mazzoli, who went to University of Oregon, and I think he got drafted, but now he's a starting quarterback for Hamilton. And for the Red Blacks, I have no idea who any of their players are.
Yeah, well, it's all right. It's okay. It's all right. But again, we gotta every now and then we gotta look at our picks and we gotta throw in a crazy game like that and kind of see how we do. But we both went with the Tiger Cats because again, I think we both believe Tiger Cats #1.
What is a Tiger Cat?
A tiger and a cat, I think. I don't know.
Tiger is a cat.
Well, whatever.
Different species.
Well, I'm going to the zoo next week. I'll ask one of the workers there. All right, Mike, so that finishes up for Picks of the Week. So, again, I'm up a game. This could be an interesting week. Again, we kept our picks pretty close, but that could go either way. I mean, we could both do bad. We could both do good. You're still right behind me. I hear the footsteps. You're right behind me, but I'll tell you, when all said and done,
the footsteps.
I'll be #1, a Tiger Cat, always.
Again, if you guys want to go on all the Twitters and every social media outlets you can, at Cerrone16 for myself, at First Pick Blog for Mr. Simpson. If you want to email us, firstpickblog@gmail.com. Go on there and email us if you want to be a special guest. Email us if you want us to get off the air. Email us if you just have any suggestions of what we should not do.
If you're a big Tiger Cats fan.
If you're a Tiger Cats fan, let us know what's going on here. We need one of those experts in studio here at ACTV. But again, if you want to go on Facebook, search www.facebook.com/thefirstpickss and on YouTube, www.youtube.com/Mike Cerrone or /The First Pick Show. Go on all those social media outlets, search us, follow us, subscribe to us, give us a holla.
For everyone here at HCTV, again, thanks a lot. For my partner, Mike Cerrone, I'm Ben Simpson. Don't forget, Tiger Cats get the win, 0-4.
Saturday.
Beating Ottawa. This has been The First Pick right here on HCTV.